Hello and welcome. It's Emilia here. Today I want to share with you a tutorial for Foamiran roses. Roses are probably the most beautiful flowers. I personally don't like them very much, but I know that a lot of people love roses. And today I want to share with you my technique for creating them. Roses are quite difficult to make because they require more work than other flowers, but once you know the technique, it is very simple. To start with, I will die cut the Foamiran. I'm using Lady Design Flower 10 cutting die set, and I'm using 3 different sizes of the petals. I'm not using the smallest and the biggest from that set. My rose will have 4 layers, the smallest one, medium size, and the biggest layer, which will be die cut twice. The other things which I will be using is something to color your flowers if you are using white Foamiran. I also made these roses in light pink with light pink Foamiran, and they look very pretty as well. But for both I added a bit of pink in the middle, so I've got the archive ink here. I will be using the balls for shaping the flowers, iron, earbuds, which I'm going to use as the centers of my flowers. After die cutting the Foamiran, I usually die cut more petals than I require. I'm starting the coloring and I color only the center of each flower, and then I will start shaping. This video is speed up only when I'm coloring, and the rest of the video will be in the real time, so you can exactly see what I'm doing. And also you will know that making one rose will require about 10 minutes. Of course, here I'm doing it much slower than I would usually do. So once you practice the technique, it will take few minutes to make one flower. So with the first layer, I'm placing on the iron. Iron is not very hot but warm, and I'm waiting for the layer to curl slightly on the iron, and then press each petal with a tool into my hand. For the second layer, again placing it on the iron, then grabbing all petals together, rolling between my fingers, and then stretching gently each petal, first with my fingers and then on the tool. The third and the fourth layer, again placing on the iron, then grabbing all petals together, rolling between my fingers. By rolling, the edges of the petals become really thin and very wrinkled, and this is effect we want to achieve. And then for that third and fourth layer, I will stretch first each petal with my fingers, then I will roll the edges of the petals back. So just the top of each petal I try to grab between my fingers and roll it back. So we need 4 layers for each rose. Of course, if you would like to make a bigger rose, you can use different sizes of the petals, or as well you can use more layers. Now it's time to put the flower together. I'm starting with the smallest layer. I will place the earbud first in the center, putting it through the hole in the middle of the flower. Then I'm adding a little bit of glue on one side of that earbud and will try to cover it with one of the petals. Any petal to start with, and we'll be doing it quite tight. I always like to wait a little bit for glue to dry before I'm adding more glue and sticking on another petal. With the first two petals, after adding the first one, I usually grab the opposite one. And again, very tight, adhering it to the rosebud. Then doesn't matter which one petal you will take, still quite tight to the center of your flower, but adding much less glue, and try to add the glue not higher than the half of the height of your rosebud. I don't know how to better explain it, because glue will always, when you're bringing the petal close to the rosebud, the glue will go up slightly. So it's better to add the glue on the bottom. Then we add the second layer. This layer not so tight, and from now on I will be adding the glue only near the bottom of each petal, and the attaching them to the flower is very similar from now on. So with the first petal, I'm adding a glue near the bottom of the petal and then bringing it close to my rosebud. Here petals need to overlap, and they will overlap quite a lot, because this layer is still quite tight, but not very, very tight, not as tight as the first one. Then for the third layer, I usually look for the layer which is slightly smaller out of those two. And the same way, I'm just adding a little bit of glue near the bottom of my petal and then bringing it closer to the flower center. And the last layer will attach exactly the same. At this point, petals are still overlapping, but not so much as for the second layer. This is the third layer we're adding. And on the last layer, I usually look where to position the petals. The petals should go between the petals from the third layer, not overlapping with the previous layer. So they will overlap within the layer, but not overlap with the... I actually believe that I'm better at showing you than explaining what I mean, so I will play you some music and you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I've got the fourth layer attached and the rose is finished. I really like that technique. It will work every time. With a little bit of practice, you will love it as well, because first time when you will be doing it, it may be tricky, the glue strings and like too much glue or whatever. It may be annoying at the beginning, but this looks always great, and I made many roses with that technique in the past, and they always beautiful. I want to thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you will try that technique. Please tag me on social media, Emilia Sieradzan, if you will, and I hope you will create beautiful flowers. Thanks a lot. Have a lovely creative day. Bye bye.